it in Hebrew. I have the printout here. Now, the one, what is perhaps the most important tshuva that I've come, response that I've come across is that by Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach. And I wanted to read that to you. Take a break. I'll translate it as I have the original here and translate it as I read. According to the question concerning genetic engineering, where we take parts from one creature and transplant it into the other, and by means of that we change the characteristic of the second animal, the recipient, and does that permit us, does that contradict the prohibition of kilayim? Because it's they're invisible, the parts that you transplant are invisible. So it says, since people do this on purpose to change one species and the other, the results are obviously evident and clearly seen. So it does not compare to miniature animals which are invisible, submicroscopic animals. So that does not apply. But in animals, he says, it seems to me that there is no prohibition in transplanting, because in animals, in plants, you're not allowed to plant a branch from one plant graft it onto another tree. That would be forbidden because of kilayim. That doesn't apply here, because you're only transplanting certain substances. And only in the case of trees, it would be forbidden. But everything else, it is permitted. He says that even though a chick that is born from an egg of a treifa mother bird, which if a hen had a damage which made it treifa, and then it laid an egg, and the egg hatched into a chick, that chick is permitted, because it says, because in between it went through a stage where it's inedible, and therefore it's like a new creature, and that is permitted. But on the other hand, if a hen hatches the egg of a forbidden bird, like say a raven, then what comes out of it is tamei, even though a hen hatched the egg, because the egg of the impure animal is not just like inedible, it is edible. The impure bird is a different species, and therefore it's permitted. And therefore he says, for instance, if a camel gave birth to a calf that looked like a calf, then this cow that develops from the calf is just like a camel. And then he goes on.
But none of these laws apply to organ transplants.
Huh?
None of these laws apply to organ transplants.
Organ transplants is a different issue. We had a shiur on that. We can more on it. So for instance, if you have he says if you have a tomato, they transplant organic engineering, changed tomatoes into trees, and now tomatoes grow on a tree, he says you have to make opioids on it, because that's a changed trees. It's not a mixture. So this is essentially, to summarize his decision.
But it's not forbidden to do it?
Huh?
Isn't it forbidden to do it?
No, it's the same species. If you transplant a tomato on an apple tree, that would be forbidden. But if you change the genes so that now tomatoes, the stem of the tomato is much stronger and lasts for years, that's permitted.
But if the taste of the tomato changes, it's not typical to tomato, but it's like pears or orange or something other, then what?
That depends where it comes from. You are not allowed to, again, in plants, you're not allowed to take any part of one plant into another plant to change it, to change its characteristic to another plant.
But you can eat
In
it.
plants it's forbidden. After it's been done, you're allowed to eat.
Well, that's why you eat grapefruit and all the other
That's
fruit.
Grapefruit is not,
It's
On the other
different-
hand, in animals, he says there is no such restriction. Therefore, in genetic engineering on animals and human beings, he doesn't see any prohibition,
No prohibition.
while in plants, it is forbidden.
So,
That's his halachic decision.
so you can in fact change a man to a woman by changing the genes? If you
Man
can.
to woman is a different issue. That's not the issue of of genetic engineering. You could call it, it's in the category of genetic engineering, that's true. But there, the issue is completely different, because if the man remains a man halachically, even though you've changed his appearance, then activities which are permitted for a woman are not permitted for a man, like sexual activity. So if the man, you changed him to make him look like a woman genetically. Now he's still a man, and he's not allowed to live with another man. While if he were a woman, he'll live with a man. So there, the issues are completely different.
So you consider the man, he can be in minyan,
Huh?
he can be in minyan, he
That's
can
right.
be, he can,
Right,
everything.
right.
If you have someone who is, I think, a hermaphrodite, somebody born with both organs,
Yeah.
then that person is allowed halakhically, provided doctors say he's more of a this or that, to have the sex, to have a change.
That's a very serious question. The halakha tells you how you tell. It's the external organs that determine whether halakhically he's a man or not. That goes on the external organs. If he has both external organs, he's called androgynous. And there's a list of halakha that restrict the activity of an androgynous and what his privileges are. There's a whole halachic treatment on that. On the other hand, there are others where you see neither sex organ out externally. It's called tumtum, where you don't know if you would cut him up, would the inside, would it be a woman or would it be a man?